Hello, everybody, and welcome to Taking Life One Heartbeat at a Time. My name is David Apolato, and I get to be your host today. This is the introduction to my podcast, and the purpose of this introduction is to just kind of give you a brief explanation as to how this idea of creating a podcast came about, in the purpose of my podcast, and what content I hope to provide for you throughout this podcast. For years now, people have been inspiring me to create a podcast or to write a book or to become a motivational speaker. Now, oftentimes one doesn't become a motivational speaker unless, of course, they have been through some adverse time or they've experienced some tragedy in their life, and they can provide for you an antidote, or they share with you the experience of how they came from the situation, the adverse situation, to finding peace or recovery through whatever the nature of their malady was or is. And that's kind of similar to what I'm going to be doing for you. Now, what gives me the right to even speak about taking life one heartbeat at a time? I know most of the time we hear people say it is somewhat even of a cliche, but I think it is an extreme important cliche or a saying that we take life one day at a time. Sometimes when life becomes so overwhelming with its experiences, that by compartmentalizing them and shrinking them into just one day at a time, it might provide some relief in just getting through that experience. Well, I'm not any different. I've learned how to take life one day at a time, but I've also broken it down to taking life moments at a time or hours at a time, and sometimes as small as taking life one heartbeat at a time. So it's only fitting that I start this video or this introduction off with the sound of a heartbeat. So if you will, for a moment, just close your eyes and listen to that heartbeat. And then feel either your heart, put your hand on your chest, or maybe even feel your jugular vein and feel that beat. What that means is that if you can feel the beat, what that means is that you're not dead. So welcome to the world of the living. And sometimes in life, the business of living, well, to be frank, it sucks. That's been the case for me throughout many years in my life. I've had 3 open heart surgeries. I've had 6 pacemaker implants, broken wires, failed heart valves, and I've been on the operating table more times than most people should have to experience in their life. And so I've learned to live. I've been so afraid of dying that I've had to compartmentalize my life into living one heartbeat at a time. See, you were listening to that heartbeat and you were feeling that heartbeat. And sometimes we take for granted that heartbeat. But you know what? I feel that beat. I feel every beat of my heart. I am so heart sensitive that I can feel even the slightest bit when it's out of rhythm, or when I'm having PVCs or extra heartbeats or the fluttering of the heart. And I never know when it's time to die, or it's time, or if I'm going to die. A great spiritual mentor of mine once said, he said, you know what, Dave, die on the day you're supposed to die. Because I'm going to tell you what, there's been so many times in my life where I have died so many times in my head when I have felt my heart skip a beat. And although many of those times I ended up in the emergency room or I ended up on an operating table, he said what's important to know is that if you feel that jugular and your heart is still thumping, that means that you're not dead. So don't live like the walking dead. He said, go out and die on the day you're supposed to die, and die on the way to going to wherever it is you were supposed to be going. fulfill your dreams, fulfill your goals, do what's necessary. So I have been living with this heart condition all of my life. And I have searched constantly done research and tried to find people with like circumstances. And what I found is there is a lot of information out there about heart patients, but most of that information, it tends to be somewhat watered down, if you will. And so my set of videos are meant to be provide an opportunity for people like me who live as a heart patient, or maybe it doesn't even have to be about the heart. It could be about your life circumstances, whatever's going on in your life. But it's a hope that by sharing my stories and my adventures with you and my challenges, that maybe you will find some seed of hope. Whether or not it grows is not up to me. What's important is that I take these situations and I share them with you, and how I've been able to thrive, and how sometimes I've just had to survive, and making it through one day at a time, one moment at a time, and often one heartbeat at a time. And so I encourage you to subscribe and to join me on this journey. I'm looking forward to sharing my life story with you. Now, I'm not going to tell you this is just all going to be about the heart. Although the heart of the matter, to me, it's the core of our being and it affects every area of our life. So I'm going to take you on journeys that might include everything from mental health to alcoholism and drug addiction and child abuse and being a single father and being divorced and being married and being a businessman. Who knows where I might take you? But all the way along the way, I have been a heart patient. And rather than just sit down or just lay down and give up, I've been encouraged, and I want to share with you the host of people who have supported me and different methods and techniques that I've had to adopt and incorporate into my life to find some kind of peace of living with me. The greatest enemy is not out there, is not him, her, or them, but it's within me. So if you are interested or this sparks some excitement in you, please subscribe. If there's a topic that you want to listen, that you want me to speak about, or that you need to hear about, I will do my best. Now, I also bring to the table a formal education. I have a master's degree in counseling and marriage, family, child therapy. I have a master's degree in education, adult education training, and I have what I consider an honorary PhD in learning how to live as a lifetime heart patient or a person with heart disease. And so I want to get to the heart of the matter. I'm not trying to provide for you a cookie cutter approach of what it means to live and have peace within your own skin regarding your adversities or your circumstances or your maladies. But I want to be able to share with you the real of what it takes, at least what it takes for me to live one heartbeat at a time and live reasonably, a reasonably happy, useful, and purposeful life. And so that is my hope. So please hit the subscribe button. Get ready to take an adventure with me. And I surely am excited about meeting some of you along the way. And I hope that I get to share something with you, or I'll share something with you that will inspire you, or that will plant a seed of hope that will help you to get through your life and your life challenges. Thank you.